The town of Hamelin was drowning, not in water but in rats. They swarmed the streets, they invaded homes, they gnawed on everything. The people were desperate, fear filled their days, the stench of decay filled the air. Mothers clutched their children, shopkeepers shut their doors. No one knew what to do. The mayor paced in his hall. His promises meant nothing. The rats kept coming. Hamelin was a town without hope, a town waiting for a miracle. One day, a stranger arrived in the small, quiet village. Dressed in vibrant, colorful clothes, he carried a pipe that seemed almost magical. He was known far and wide as the Pied Piper, a figure of both mystery and legend. As he walked through the village, he saw the fear in their eyes, a fear that had taken root deep within their hearts. He smelled the decay in the air, a stench that spoke of neglect and despair. He listened to their pleas, their voices trembling with desperation and hope. "I can help," he said, his voice soft but sure, carrying a promise that seemed almost too good to be true. "I can rid your town of these pests," he continued. The townspeople were skeptical, their faces etched with doubt. Many had promised help before, and all had failed, leaving the villagers disillusioned and wary. But the piper's gaze was steady, unwavering, filled with a determination that was hard to ignore. His voice held a strange power, a captivating quality that made people want to believe him. He spoke of a tune, a melody that could work wonders, a tune that could lure the rats away from their homes and fields. Desperate, the people agreed to his plan. They clung to his words, each syllable a lifeline. In their sea of troubles, they dared to hope again, their hearts lifting with the possibility of a brighter future. The piper raised his pipe to his lips, a gentle smile playing on his face. A melody, sweet and low, filled the air, weaving through the cobblestone streets and ancient buildings. It was a sound that spoke to the rats, a call that resonated deep within their tiny hearts, not of fear, but of peace, a promise of a better place, of a place away from Hamelin. The rats stirred, they twitched their noses, they followed the sound. The piper walked with a purpose, his steps light and sure. He didn't force the rats, he led them with compassion. He understood their plight, their need for a safe haven. He knew they were just trying to survive, scavenging for scraps in a world that had turned against them. The music flowed, guiding them away, each note a step towards freedom. The people watched in amazement, their eyes wide with wonder. Hope blossomed in their hearts. A new beginning seemed possible, all thanks to the piper's empathetic melody. The piper led the rats to the river. One by one they jumped in. The water ran red. The town was silent. The piper returned. His promise kept. He approached the mayor. "Our agreement," he reminded him, "your payment." But the mayor, his fear gone, saw only gold. "Ridiculous," he scoffed. "For a simple tune, you ask too much." The townspeople, their relief turning to greed, murmured in agreement. They forgot their fear. They forgot their promise. They only saw their own gain. The piper's heart grew cold, a chill that seeped into his very soul. Betrayal stung worse than any bite, a wound that festered deep within. He raised his pipe again, the notes trembling with a newfound resolve. This time the tune was different. It spoke of adventure, of distant lands and untold stories, of a world beyond Hamelin, a world waiting to be discovered. The children, their hearts still innocent and pure, heard the call. They followed the piper, entranced by the melody. He led them through the gates, away from the town, towards the unknown. The parents, their greed turning to panic, reached out in desperation, but it was too late. The children were gone, vanished into the horizon. Silence fell over Hamelin, a silence heavier than before, a silence that echoed with regret. Their greed had cost them everything, leaving behind empty streets and emptier hearts. The Pied Piper's tune faded, but the lesson lingered. Hamelin learned the hard way. You cannot put a price on everything. Leadership is not about power or profit, it's about empathy, about understanding those you lead. It's about keeping promises. The empty streets of Hamelin stood as a reminder of the day the music died, a day greed triumphed over gratitude, and the world listened. Because sometimes silence speaks louder than words.